Imagine, if you will, an ancient realm where green stretched unbroken from horizon to horizon, a living tapestry woven along the vast Brazilian coastline. This was the Atlantic forest, or Mata Atlantica, a kingdom of green that once reigned supreme, its boundaries defined not by rivers or mountains but by the endless reach of its emerald canopy. For millions of years this forest flourished, covering over 1.3 million square kilometers, an expanse so immense it dwarfed entire nations. Its roots delved deep into the ancient soils, its branches soared skyward, and its green waves rolled inland, shaping the very climate and breathing life into the land. The Atlantic forest was a world unto itself, a continuous ribbon of vibrant green, where the air shimmered with the calls of unseen creatures and the forest floor pulsed with the secret rhythms of life. Here, evolution unfolded in splendid isolation, crafting a community of plants and animals found nowhere else on Earth. Over countless millennia, the Atlantic forest became a crucible of diversity. Its long separation from other great forests, such as the Amazon, allowed it to nurture its own cast of extraordinary characters. Golden lion tamarins leapt through the branches, southern muriqui monkeys swung in the dappled light, and orchids bloomed in dazzling profusion, each species a living testament to the forest's unique evolutionary journey. But time, ever relentless, brought change. The once boundless forest began to recede, its edges curling inward, its vastness slowly unraveling. The green kingdom, once seamless and whole, became a patchwork of shrinking domains. The landscape transformed as open spaces emerged where dense forest once stood. The ancient trees, silent witnesses to eons of life, now stood on the front lines of a changing world, their roots clutching the soil as the green sea retreated. What remains today is but a shadow of the former kingdom, scattered fragments, mere echoes of the once mighty forest. These green islands, isolated and vulnerable, are all that is left of a wilderness that once seemed eternal. Each fragment is a world unto itself, a sanctuary where the ancient rhythms of the forest persist. Here the chorus of birds still greets the dawn, and the scent of wet earth lingers in the air, a reminder of the grandeur that once was. Within these precious remnants, life endures with astonishing vigor. Jewel-toned birds flit among the branches, rare frogs sing from hidden pools, and orchids unfurl their petals in the filtered light, each a survivor in a world transformed. The forest, though diminished, remains a living museum of evolution, a place where ancient lineages persist and new wonders are born. Mist drifts through the understory, and the shadows conceal secrets yet to be discovered. Yet, the Atlantic forest stands on the brink, its future uncertain. The loss of so much green has placed it among the most threatened ecosystems on Earth, its fate hanging in the balance. It is a biodiversity hotspot, a realm where the richness of life is matched only by the fragility of its existence. Here, every species is a rare jewel, every plant and animal a thread in the intricate web of life. The sheer abundance of life is staggering, from the golden lion tamarin to the elusive man sloth, from towering trees to delicate orchids. Countless species exist here and nowhere else, their stories written in the language of survival and adaptation. If these last sanctuaries vanish, so too will the unique forms of life that depend on them. The loss would echo through time, erasing entire chapters of the planet's evolutionary history. The survival of this kingdom now rests on the resilience of its remaining fragments, on the strength of the forest to endure and regenerate, to hold fast against the tide of change. The story of the Atlantic forest is one of profound loss, but also of remarkable resilience. Even as destruction has swept across the land, pockets of regeneration and hope have emerged, proof of nature's enduring power. The Atlantic forest stands as a living testament to the forces of creation and destruction, a place where beauty and fragility exist side by side, and where the echoes of the past still shape the present. To enter its remaining sanctuaries is to step into a world of unparalleled beauty and complexity, where sunlight dances through the leaves and every shadow conceals a story. Every leaf, every call, every footprint in the soil is a living fragment of this epic saga, a chronicle of survival, adaptation, and the relentless march of time. The Atlantic forest endures as a story of survival against the odds, a monument to the enduring power of nature and a reminder of the irreplaceable treasures that still linger in the vanished kingdom of green. Deep within the Atlantic forest, the Serra State Park stands as a living testament to nature's resilience and complexity. Spanning over 300 kilometers along the São Paulo coastline, this is the largest continuous reserve in the Atlantic forest, a vast sanctuary where ancient mountains meet the sea. Within its boundaries, Serra harbors an extraordinary array of life, acting as a vital stronghold for biodiversity. The park is a patchwork of 8 distinct regions, each with its own unique microclimate, topography, and ecological communities. From the rugged heights of Iteru to the lush lowlands of Cuna, these regions form a mosaic of habitats, ranging from cloud-draped mountain forests to the humid, life-filled coastal plains. The dramatic geography of Serra is the result of immense geological forces that have shaped this landscape for millions of years. Around 80 million years ago, tectonic movements thrust up a formidable mountain range along the edge of the continent, creating the Serra do Mar, Mountains of the Sea. These mountains rise sharply from the Atlantic, their forested slopes forming a natural barrier between the ocean and the inland plateau. Steep cliffs and escarpments cloaked in dense forest create a landscape of dramatic contrasts and hidden valleys. The rugged terrain, with its sheer slopes and deep ravines, has long shielded these forests from the outside world, preserving their ancient character. As a result, vast stretches of untouched rainforest still blanket the mountainsides and valleys, harboring ecosystems that have remained undisturbed for millennia. The park's varied topography gives rise to a remarkable diversity of ecosystems, each shaped by subtle shifts in altitude, moisture, and sunlight. In the lowlands, classic tropical rainforests thrive, their dense canopies and rich undergrowth supporting a profusion of plant and animal life. Higher up, the air cools and moisture condenses, giving rise to cloud forests, mist-shrouded realms where mosses, orchids, and bromeliads flourish in the filtered light. Along the coastline, pristine mangrove forests form a vital link between land and sea, their tangled roots sheltering countless aquatic species. Untouched beaches and wild coastal dunes provide sanctuary for rare plants and animals uniquely adapted to these shifting environments. This intricate tapestry of habitats supports an astonishing variety of species, many of which are found nowhere else on Earth. Endemic treasures such as the golden lion tamarin, the black-fronted piping guan, and rare orchids and bromeliads thrive here, their survival intricately tied to the park's unique conditions. The mountains are also the birthplace of countless rivers and streams, their waters tumbling down through the forest, nourishing every layer of life. As these waters flow, they are filtered and purified by the dense vegetation, sustaining the delicate balance of the entire ecosystem. Serra do Mar is more than a collection of landscapes. It is a living, breathing green wall, an essential stronghold for the Atlantic forest, safeguarding its microclimates, endemic species, and the intricate web of life that depends on its protection. The Atlantic forest, with its perpetually damp and humid conditions, forms a lush, living tapestry that is perfectly suited for amphibians. Here, the air is thick with moisture, the ground is carpeted in moss and leaf litter, and countless streams and pools create a mosaic of microhabitats. This region is a global epicenter for amphibian diversity, harboring over 400 species, many of which are endemic, existing nowhere else on Earth. The sheer variety is staggering, from jewel-toned tree frogs perched on bromeliads to camouflaged toads blending seamlessly with the forest floor. Within the boundaries of Serra do Mar State Park alone, nearly 200 amphibian species thrive, making it one of the densest concentrations of amphibian life on the planet. Each stream, pond, and patch of undergrowth supports its own unique community. In these mist-laden forests and along the banks of rushing streams, amphibians have radiated into an astonishing array of forms and behaviors. Some are masters of camouflage, while others dazzle with vibrant colors. Each species is exquisitely adapted to its own ecological niche, from the leaf litter to the canopy. Among the most remarkable inhabitants are the torrent frogs, whose lives are intimately tied to the roaring, fast-flowing streams that cut through the forest. These agile amphibians cling to slippery rocks and mossy boulders, their limbs specially adapted for gripping in the relentless spray of waterfalls and rapids. To communicate above the thunderous noise of the water, male torrent frogs have evolved a sophisticated system of acoustic and visual signals. Their calls are piercing and high-pitched, designed to cut through the constant background roar, ensuring their voices reach potential mates and rivals alike. But sound is not their only tool. Torrent frogs also perform elaborate visual displays, waving their long, slender back legs in rhythmic patterns, a silent dance that signals their presence and intentions. This combination of acoustic and visual communication is a remarkable adaptation to the challenges of life in a perpetually noisy environment. Across the forest, amphibians display a dazzling variety of reproductive strategies. Some lay eggs in hidden nests, while others deposit them on leaves suspended above water, allowing the tadpoles to drop into pools below upon hatching. The smith frog exemplifies the ingenuity of amphibian life cycles in the Atlantic forest. This species constructs a small pot-shaped nest from mud at the water's edge, providing a safe haven for its developing offspring. Once the nest is complete, the male's calls attract a female, who deposits her eggs inside the protective chamber. The male remains vigilant, guarding the nest and its precious contents from would-be predators and environmental threats. When seasonal rains arrive, the rising water floods the nest, gently washing the tadpoles into the pond, where they continue their transformation into adult frogs. Such carefully orchestrated life cycles are a testament to the evolutionary creativity found within the Atlantic forest. Among the most enchanting residents are the tiny saddleback toads, whose diminutive size belies their ecological significance. Some of these toads are among the smallest land vertebrates on the planet, measuring no larger than a fingernail and perfectly suited to life among the leaf litter and moss. Endemic to the Atlantic forest, these miniature marvels have evolved unique adaptations, such as reduced numbers of fingers and toes, and specialized skin textures that help them retain moisture in their microhabitats. Their vivid orange and yellow hues serve as a warning to would-be predators, signaling the presence of potent toxins in their skin, a powerful defense in the competitive world of the rainforest. New amphibian species continue to be discovered, often restricted to isolated mountaintops or unique microhabitats. Each is a living testament to the evolutionary forces at work in this ancient forest, contributing to the intricate web of life that sustains the Atlantic forest's extraordinary biodiversity. High above the forest floor, the Atlantic forest canopy forms a living tapestry, a world suspended in sunlight and shadow, where branches intertwine and leaves shimmer in the humid air. Here the air is alive with a riot of color and a chorus of sound, as countless birds flit between the emerald leaves, their feathers catching the dappled light. Over 1,000 bird species have been recorded in this lush expanse, nearly 200 found nowhere else on Earth. The canopy is a sanctuary for these avian wonders, a place where rare and endangered species find refuge among the tangled branches and thick foliage. The Serra State Park alone shelters about 500 species, each adapted to a unique niche within this vertical world. From the shadowy understory to the sunlit treetops, birds are the lifeblood of the canopy. Their calls echo through the leaves, a symphony of whistles, chirps, and booming notes that define the forest's identity. Some, like the black-fronted piping guan, are both rare and vital, their presence a testament to the health of the ecosystem. The black-fronted piping guan, with its striking black and white plumage, glides silently through the upper branches. Dependent on untouched ancient forest, it is a keystone species, one of the few birds large enough to swallow and disperse the seeds of the endangered Jucara palm. Its survival is intertwined with the fate of the forest itself, as it helps regenerate the very trees that shelter it. The canopy is also home to the bare-throated bellbird, whose metallic call rings out with astonishing power, cutting through the dense foliage. Its voice, one of the loudest in the animal kingdom, is a signal to rivals and mates alike, echoing across the treetops. Flashes of iridescent blue, green and gold dart through the uppermost branches as tanagers travel in lively flocks. These small, vibrant birds move together like a living river, weaving through the canopy in search of fruit and insects, their colors glinting in the filtered sunlight. Among them, the brassy-breasted, green-headed and red-necked tanagers stand out, their dazzling plumage lighting up the forest. Each species plays a role in the intricate web of life, pollinating flowers, dispersing seeds, and keeping insect populations in balance. The smallest jewels of the canopy are the hummingbirds, tiny iridescent marvels that hover and dart among the blossoms. Around 20 species inhabit the forest, their wings beating in a blur as they sip nectar and pollinate countless plants, ensuring the renewal of the forest's floral tapestry. The festive coquette, a tiny hummingbird with a shimmering crest, can beat its wings up to 80 times per second, moving between flowers with astonishing agility. Its energy and speed are vital to the pollination of many canopy plants. Not all canopy dwellers are brightly colored or gentle. The channel-billed toucan, with its massive patterned bill, is a formidable presence. It prowls the treetops, hunting for eggs and nestlings, helping to regulate the populations of other birds and maintain the balance of the ecosystem. Its cousin, the red-breasted toucan, prefers fruit, especially the Jucara Palm, and is a champion seed disperser. By carrying seeds far from the parent tree, it helps the forest regenerate and thrive. The rare Atlantic royal flycatcher, with its spectacular hidden crest, flits quietly among the branches, while above the canopy, black-headed vultures soar on rising thermals, scanning the forest for signs of life and death. Each species, from the most elusive to the most common, is a vital thread in the living fabric of the canopy. The forest canopy is not just a roof over the forest, it is a world unto itself, teeming with life, interaction, and energy. It is here, in this vibrant upper realm, that the Atlantic forest's greatest treasures are found, sustaining the entire ecosystem below. While birds and frogs may be the most visible inhabitants, the Atlantic forest is also home to a fascinating and diverse community of mammals, each uniquely adapted to the challenges and opportunities of this lush environment. Many of these mammals are elusive, often venturing out only under the cover of darkness. Their presence is betrayed by a rustle in the undergrowth, a fleeting shadow, or the echo of a distant call. Nocturnality is a common strategy here, helping them avoid predators and human disturbance while taking advantage of cooler temperatures. Among the most iconic residents are the brown howler monkeys, whose deep, guttural roars reverberate through the forest at dawn and dusk. These calls serve not only to mark territory but also to maintain cohesion among group members and warn off rival troops. Living in small, tightly knit family groups, howler monkeys exhibit strong social bonds. Their daily routines revolve around foraging for leaves, fruits and flowers, and their powerful vocalizations can travel for several kilometers, a vital adaptation in the dense forest where visibility is limited. Their remarkable prehensile tails act as a fifth limb, allowing them to navigate the upper canopy with agility and safety. This adaptation is crucial for accessing food resources high above the forest floor, where competition is less intense. Sharing the treetops are the marmosets, some of the smallest primates in the Atlantic forest. Agile and inquisitive, they forage for insects, tree sap, and fruit, often moving in extended family groups that communicate with high-pitched calls. The buffy-tufted ear marmoset, with its distinctive white facial tufts, is an endemic species found nowhere else. These primates play a vital ecological role as pollinators and seed dispersers, helping to maintain the forest's plant diversity. Sadly, the buffy-tufted ear marmoset is now endangered, its numbers dwindling due to habitat loss and other pressures. One of the most significant threats comes from interspecies competition, particularly with the closely related white-tufted ear marmoset. The white-tufted ear marmoset, originally native to other regions of Brazil, has become an invasive presence in the Atlantic forest, where it competes for food and territory. Often released by former pet owners, these adaptable primates thrive in disturbed habitats and near human settlements, outcompeting their native cousins for resources. The overlap of their ranges has led to mixed groups and increased contact between the two species, setting the stage for genetic mixing. Interbreeding between the invasive and native marmosets produces hybrid offspring, threatening the genetic integrity of the endemic species and reducing its chances of survival. As hybridization spreads, the unique adaptations and evolutionary history of the buffy-tufted ear marmoset are gradually being lost, pushing this species ever closer to extinction. This slow-motion crisis unfolds high in the treetops, largely unseen but with profound consequences for the forest's biodiversity. The story of the marmosets is a powerful reminder that even well-meaning actions, such as releasing pets into the wild, can have devastating and unforeseen impacts on fragile ecosystems and the intricate web of non-human life they support. Beyond the primates, the Atlantic forest shelters a host of other mammals, many of which are masters of camouflage and stealth. These animals occupy a range of ecological niches from the forest floor to the highest branches. Along the rivers and wetlands, capybaras, the world's largest rodents, form social groups that graze on grasses and aquatic plants. Their presence helps shape the structure of riverbank vegetation and provides prey for larger predators. In the shadows, elusive wildcats like ocelots and jaguarundis stalk their prey. These solitary hunters play a crucial role in controlling populations of small mammals and birds, maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. On the forest floor, South American coatis use their long, flexible snouts to root through leaf litter in search of insects, fruit, and small vertebrates. Living in large, noisy bands, coatis are important seed dispersers and help aerate the soil as they forage. From the roaring howler monkeys in the canopy to the silent deer moving through the undergrowth, each mammal species fills a unique ecological role. Their interactions, whether as competitors, predators, or partners in seed dispersal, form a complex web of relationships that sustains the health and dynamism of the Atlantic forest, making it one of the world's most remarkable strongholds of non-human life. The Atlantic forest is a living tapestry of life, home to a plant diversity that surpasses that of entire continents. Among its countless species, the Jucara palm stands out as a silent architect of the forest's intricate web. Nearly all of the forest's flora, including the Jucara, rely on animals for pollination, weaving together a network of mutual dependence that sustains the ecosystem. The Jucara palm, with its slender trunk and graceful fronds, is a keystone species. Its presence shapes the very structure and function of the forest. Rising above the undergrowth, the Jucara palm provides shelter and shade, creating microhabitats for countless organisms beneath its canopy. Its importance cannot be overstated. The Jucara palm is truly the heart of the forest, a living pillar that supports a world of biodiversity. Each year, the Jucara palm produces dense clusters of dark purple fruit, ripening from September to January. These fruits are a vital food source for a remarkable array of forest creatures. As the fruit ripens, the palms become a hub of activity, drawing in birds, mammals, and even reptiles, all eager to feast on the seasonal bounty. Dozens of species depend on the Jucara's fruit, including monkeys, toucans, guans, and small mammals, each playing a role in the palm's life cycle. The red-breasted toucan and the endangered black-fronted piping guan are especially reliant on these fruits, timing their breeding and feeding cycles to the palm's fruiting season. As these animals feed, they become the Jucara's greatest allies, dispersing its seeds far and wide. The seeds pass through their digestive systems and are deposited throughout the forest, giving rise to new generations of palms. The life cycle of the Jucara palm begins anew as seedlings sprout in the rich leaf litter, nurtured by the shade and moisture of the forest floor. Over years, these young palms grow slowly, reaching for the light above. It can take decades for a Jucara palm to reach maturity, its slow growth a testament to the patience of the forest. Throughout its life, the Jucara palm supports a multitude of species, offering fruit, shelter, and perches for birds, mammals, and insects alike. The palm's presence influences the distribution of other plants and animals, shaping the very fabric of the Atlantic forest. When Jucara palms vanish from the landscape, the effects ripple outward. The food web begins to unravel, and the balance of the ecosystem is thrown into jeopardy. Without the Jucara, many animals lose a critical food source, and the forest's intricate relationships begin to break down. The fate of the Jucara palm is inextricably linked to the fate of the forest itself. Its survival ensures the survival of countless other species. Protecting the Jucara palm means safeguarding toucans, piping guans, monkeys, and a vibrant community of life that depends on this remarkable tree. In the untouched heart of the Atlantic forest where Jucara palms thrive, the ecosystem flourishes, each life form connected in a delicate, enduring balance. The story of the Jucara palm is a powerful reminder that the survival of a single species can be critical to the health of an entire ecosystem, a living pillar supporting a world of biodiversity. High above the world, where the mountains of the Serra do Mar pierce the sky, lies a realm shrouded in perpetual mist. These are the Campos Nublados, or foggy lands. Here, the air is thick with moisture, and the clouds drift so low that they seem to embrace the earth itself, wrapping the landscape in a cool, ethereal veil. The climate in these high-altitude grasslands and scrublands is unlike anywhere else. Cool, humid fog rolls in from the Atlantic Ocean, blanketing the slopes and valleys almost every day. Sunlight is filtered through layers of mist, creating a world of soft light and shifting shadows, where the temperature rarely rises and the air is always damp. Life here is a constant struggle against the elements. The wind howls across the exposed ridges, and the soil, thin and acidic, offers little nourishment. Rain and fog keep the ground perpetually wet, and sudden changes in weather can bring chilling cold or bursts of rain within moments. The earth beneath is a patchwork of wet, acidic soil, often waterlogged and poor in nutrients. Only the hardiest of life forms can endure such relentless dampness and scarcity. Yet in this challenging environment, a tapestry of life has flourished. The Campos Nublados are home to a community of plants and animals that seem to belong to another age, their forms shaped by millennia of adaptation to the clouds and the cold. The flora here are true survivors. Many plants have developed thick, waxy leaves to shed excess moisture, or hairy surfaces to trap warmth and reduce water loss. Some grow low to the ground, hugging the earth to avoid the biting wind, while others have roots that spread wide to capture every drop of available water and nutrient. Trees, where they exist, are sculpted by the wind into natural bonsai, stunted, twisted, and gnarled. Their branches reach out like ancient hands, shaped by years of struggle against the elements, forming miniature forests that seem frozen in time. The ground is alive with a dense carpet of mosses and lichens, thriving in the constant moisture. Wild orchids, their blooms delicate and intricate, nestle among the rocks and grasses, many found nowhere else on earth. These plants have evolved to capture the faintest traces of nutrients from the air and rain, making the most of their cloud-wrapped home. Among the most remarkable inhabitants is the Drosera, a carnivorous plant perfectly suited to the nutrient-poor soils of the foggy lands. Its leaves are adorned with glistening, sticky tentacles that sparkle like tiny jewels in the mist, luring unsuspecting insects with their dewy appearance. When an insect lands, it becomes ensnared, and the Drosera slowly digests its prey, extracting precious nutrients that the soil cannot provide. This ingenious adaptation allows it to thrive where others would wither. The Campos Nublados are islands in the sky, each mountaintop isolated by deep valleys and swirling clouds. This isolation has given rise to a haven of endemism where unique species have evolved, perfectly attuned to their misty world. Plants and animals here live in solitude, separated from their kin on distant peaks. Over time, they have diverged, developing traits and behaviors found nowhere else, each population a living experiment in adaptation. Some species are so specialized that they exist only on a single mountaintop, their entire world defined by the clouds and the cold. These rare forms are the jewels of the Campos Nublados, living proof of nature's creativity and resilience. In this living laboratory of evolution, every plant and animal tells a story of survival, from tiny insects that have adapted to the constant damp, to frogs that breed in the ephemeral pools left by the fog. Life here is a testament to the power of adaptation. The ecosystem is in constant motion, shaped by the interplay of wind, water, and cloud. Over centuries, new forms emerge, each uniquely suited to the ever-changing conditions of the highlands. Yet even in this remote and seemingly untouched world, the balance is delicate. The arrival of new species or subtle shifts in climate can tip the scales, threatening the intricate web of life that has taken so long to form. The pine tree, or pinus, is one such threat. Though not native to these lands, its seeds, carried by the wind, have begun to take root among the native vegetation. These invaders grow quickly, their roots spreading deep, and their branches casting dense shade, altering the delicate balance of light and moisture that native species depend on. As the pines spread, they outcompete the slow-growing native plants, changing the very chemistry of the soil and threatening to smother the ancient, cloud-wrapped ecosystem. If left unchecked, these foreign trees could transform the Campos Nublados into a monotonous forest, erasing the unique tapestry of life that has evolved in the lands in the clouds. The Atlantic forest is a world built on intricate relationships, a delicate balance between predator and prey, plant and pollinator. Here, every organism faces a constant interplay of natural challenges, competition for food, shelter, and the ever-present threat of becoming prey. We see this in the life cycle of the Atlantic royal flycatcher, which snatches butterflies, dragonflies, and wasps out of the air to feed its young. The flycatcher itself must remain vigilant, as it is both hunter and potential prey, navigating a world where survival depends on agility and awareness. Each meal delivered to its chicks is a victory in a daily struggle, a testament to the constant energy invested in raising the next generation amid natural hazards. The relationship between hummingbirds and the red tubular flowers of the coral tree is another example of this balance, a perfect partnership of shape and function. The hummingbird's slender bill fits the flower precisely, ensuring pollination while gaining vital nectar. Yet the hummingbird must compete with other nectar feeders and avoid predators lurking nearby. This balance is fragile, and new observations are constantly revealing just how complex and sometimes brutal these interactions can be. Predator-prey relationships are at the heart of the forest's dynamics, shaping the behavior, evolution, and survival of countless species. One such discovery involved a tiny saddleback toad, a creature that must remain hidden from predators while also facing threats from parasites. For the first time, scientists observed a fly landing on the toad and depositing 2 larvae directly onto its back. These larvae were parasites, representing a different kind of threat, one that comes not from a swift attack but from a slow invasion. As they grew, they began to consume the soft tissues of their living host, a slow and gruesome process. Parasitism is a natural challenge in the forest, shaping the defenses and behaviors of its inhabitants. This interaction, though grim, is a natural part of the ecosystem, a reminder that life and death are intimately connected. Decomposition and predation recycle nutrients, fueling new growth and sustaining the web of life. Similarly, snakes like the venomous Jucara are important predators, helping to control the populations of the forest's abundant amphibians. The Jucara's stealth and venom are adaptations honed by the pressures of both hunting and avoiding larger predators. The balance is also maintained by creatures that clean up the forest. Scavengers play a vital role in removing dead animals, preventing the buildup of disease and returning nutrients to the soil. Black-headed vultures soar on thermal currents, their keen eyes searching for carrion. They must compete with other scavengers and avoid threats from territorial predators. They are the forest's cleanup crew, efficiently disposing of dead animals and preventing the spread of disease. Their presence is essential for the health of the ecosystem. On a smaller scale, woodpeckers like the tiny white-barred piculate face their own challenges, locating insects hidden beneath bark, avoiding predators, and competing with other insectivores. The striking yellow-fronted woodpecker drills into trees, searching for insects and larvae. Each successful hunt helps control insect populations, but also exposes the woodpecker to predators and environmental hazards. In doing so, they create cavities in trees that can later be used as nests by other animals, such as the beautiful Sakura trogon. These interconnections highlight the forest's reliance on each species fulfilling its role. This delicate balance extends to other reptiles as well, each adapted to survive in a world of constant risk and opportunity. The Brazilian snake-necked turtle, an endemic species with a distinctively long neck, navigates the rocky streams and shallow ponds of the forest. Its unique anatomy allows it to ambush prey, but it must also avoid aquatic predators and compete for resources. It is a specialized predator in its aquatic world, perfectly adapted to its environment, yet always facing the pressures of predation and competition. Every creature, from the parasitic fly to the soaring vulture, is shaped by the natural challenges of the Atlantic forest: competition, predation, parasitism, and the struggle for survival. From the camouflaged snake blending into the leaf litter, to the ancient-looking turtle resting by a stream, each species has evolved strategies to cope with the forest's relentless pressures. The loss of any one of them can have unforeseen consequences, tugging at the threads that hold this complex tapestry of life together. In the Atlantic forest, the balance of life and threat is a dynamic, ever-shifting dance, one that has shaped the extraordinary diversity and resilience of this remarkable ecosystem. The Atlantic forest, even in its fragmented state, stands as one of Earth's most extraordinary natural wonders, a living tapestry woven from countless threads of life. This forest pulses with vibrant energy, a testament to the relentless creativity of evolution. Here, life has flourished into a dazzling spectrum of forms, each uniquely adapted to its place in the intricate web of existence, from the tiny, brilliantly colored saddleback toad, whose toxins and camouflage are the result of millennia of adaptation, to the resonant calls of the howler monkey echoing through the canopy, and the flash of a tanager's feathers among the leaves, to the ancient Jucara Palm, whose fruits sustain countless creatures. Every species, from the smallest insect to the tallest tree, plays a vital role in the forest's ongoing story of survival and renewal. The Atlantic forest is not merely a collection of species, but a vast, interconnected system. Each organism, each root and leaf, is linked in a delicate balance where the fate of one is tied to the fate of all. Its influence stretches far beyond its borders, shaping climate, water cycles, and the very air that sustains life. As a global epicenter of biodiversity, the Atlantic forest is a reservoir of genetic richness, a living archive of evolutionary history. The discoveries made within its depths reveal secrets about the origins of life, the resilience of ecosystems, and the endless possibilities of adaptation. New species are still being uncovered. Hidden frogs, dazzling insects, and rare plants, each one a testament to the forest's boundless creativity. These discoveries are not just marvels of nature. They are keys to understanding the intricate mechanisms that sustain life on Earth. Every new plant, every unique adaptation, adds a page to the story of life's ingenuity. The forest's plants and animals hold secrets that could unlock new medicines, reveal the mysteries of genetics, and deepen our understanding of how life evolves and thrives in the face of adversity. The Atlantic forest is a living laboratory demonstrating how ecosystems recover, adapt, and persist through change. It is a library of biological wisdom, its volumes written in the language of DNA, behavior, and interdependence. And yet only a fraction of its stories have been read, its mysteries still waiting to be revealed. The challenges facing the Atlantic forest are immense. Deforestation, invasive species, and the shifting climate threaten its delicate balance, but the forest endures, resilient and persistent. Protected areas stand as sanctuaries where the ancient rhythms of life continue undisturbed and the forest's wonders are preserved. Within these refuges, the intricate dance of predator and prey, pollinator and plant continues as it has for millennia. The forest's resilience is found in its ability to regenerate, to heal, and to maintain the bonds that tie its inhabitants together. Every connection, every pollination, every seed dispersed, every symbiotic partnership strengthens the fabric of this living world. The piping guan and the Jucara palm, for example, are bound together in a cycle of nourishment and renewal, each dependent on the other for survival. Such relationships are the foundation of the forest's strength, ensuring that life continues to flourish in all its diversity. The future of the Atlantic forest is written in the resilience of its species and the enduring power of its connections. It is a realm of breathtaking beauty and astonishing complexity, a sanctuary where the wonders of life are on full display. The Atlantic forest reminds us that nature's marvels are both resilient and fragile, enduring yet vulnerable to the forces of change. By continuing to reveal its secrets and celebrate its wonders, the story of this forest can echo across the world. The Atlantic forest stands as a beacon of hope, a symbol of nature's enduring spirit and the boundless possibilities of life. In protecting this vanished kingdom of green, the world safeguards not just species, but the very essence of life's diversity and resilience. The Atlantic forest is a treasure beyond measure, a living legacy for all life to marvel at and cherish now and always. Beneath the towering trees and within the understory shadows, the Atlantic forest thrums with the quiet industry of its smallest inhabitants, the insects. Though often overlooked, these masters of miniature engineering form the backbone of the forest's intricate web of life. Here, jewel-toned butterflies drift between shafts of sunlight, their wings painting fleeting patterns above blooming orchids. Leaf-cutter ants march in endless columns along the forest floor, carrying shards of green to their subterranean gardens, living architects, cultivating fungi that feed their thriving colonies. Hidden in the bark, brilliantly camouflaged stick insects sway like twigs in the breeze, evading the sharp eyes of predators. Lanternflies with their luminous abdomens flicker in the dusk, signaling to unseen partners. Metallic beetles burrow through decomposing wood, breaking down the dead and returning vital nutrients to the soil, nature's recyclers at work. Predatory mantises, motionless and patient, blend seamlessly with the leaves, while assassin bugs stalk through the undergrowth, their hunting skills honed by evolution's relentless pressure. In the humid air, dragonflies dart above forest streams, their aerial acrobatics keeping mosquito populations in check. Each insect, from the tiniest springtail leaping through leaf litter to the majestic morpho butterfly flashing iridescent blue, plays a crucial role. Pollinators transfer life from flower to flower, decomposers unlock the nutrients trapped in fallen wood and leaves, and predators maintain delicate balances among the countless species. The insects of the Atlantic forest are not just survivors, they are innovators. Some mimic ants for protection, while others wield chemical defenses or intricate courtship dances. Their lives unfold in miniature dramas, each vital to the health and resilience of the forest. Unseen but indispensable, these tiny architects, recyclers, and pollinators ensure the forest's survival. The Atlantic forest's grandeur is built on their tireless work, its future entwined with the fate of its smallest citizens. In the dance of wings and the silent industry of the leafcutter, the true marvel of the Atlantic forest is revealed, not only in its giants, but in the infinite wonders of the miniature world. Beneath the emerald canopy, ribbons of water weave through the Atlantic forest, rivers and streams, the hidden lifeblood of this ancient ecosystem. These waterways carve deep valleys and meander through lush undergrowth, their currents shaping the land and nourishing every living thing they touch. Crystal-clear springs bubble from the forest floor, gathering into swift brooks that tumble over mossy rocks. In these cool, oxygen-rich waters, a world of unseen marvels unfolds. Dazzling fish, many found nowhere else on Earth, flash between submerged roots and pebbles. The golden tetra, with its shimmering scales, darts in shimmering schools, while armored catfish scour the stream beds for food. Tiny frogs, like the brilliantly colored torrent frog, cling to slick stones, their calls echoing above the rush of water. Delicate freshwater shrimp graze on algae, and slender aquatic insects skitter across the surface, their legs barely dimpling the flow. Each species, perfectly adapted to the unique rhythms of the forest's waterways, depends on the steady pulse of clean, flowing water. The rivers and streams are not only habitats, they are vital corridors, linking distant patches of forest and allowing plants and animals to disperse, find mates, and survive. Fallen leaves and branches carried downstream feed a web of decomposers and detritivores, fueling cycles of renewal. The roots of towering trees anchor riverbanks, preventing erosion and filtering runoff, their shade keeping waters cool and life-sustaining. During the rains, swollen streams spread fresh nutrients through the forest, nurturing new growth and sustaining life through the dry season. In the hush of dawn, mist rises from the water, blending with birdsong and frog calls, a chorus celebrating the unity of land and water. In the Atlantic forest, rivers and streams are more than just features of the landscape. They are the arteries of life, sustaining a dazzling array of creatures and natural processes. As they wind through the heart of the forest, they carry with them the promise of renewal and the story of an ecosystem built on the power and persistence of water. Beneath the forest floor, a hidden world thrives, a network of fungi and decomposers, silent architects of the Atlantic forest's enduring vitality. In the humid shadows, delicate mushrooms unfurl after the rains, their caps glowing with fleeting color among the fallen leaves. But their true power lies unseen, woven in vast mycelial threads that stretch for kilometers underground. Here, fungi form intricate partnerships with the roots of towering trees and delicate ferns. Through these symbiotic bonds, nutrients flow in both directions. Fungi draw minerals from deep within the soil, delivering them to their plant partners in exchange for life-sustaining sugars. This ancient alliance fuels the explosive growth above, allowing the forest to flourish in even the poorest soils. Decomposers, tiny beetles, industrious termites and legions of springtails join the fungi in breaking down the endless rain of leaves, wood and fallen fruit. As they feed, they transform the forest detritus into rich, dark humus, releasing vital nutrients that nourish new life. Every fallen branch, every decaying log becomes a nursery for seedlings and a banquet for countless creatures. Even the largest animals of the forest depend on this hidden labor. The nutrients released by fungi and decomposers course through roots and stems, ripening fruits and enriching the leaves that fuel the food web. In the quiet dark, bioluminescent fungi cast an eerie glow, hinting at the ceaseless activity that sustains the forest from below. In this unseen realm, nothing is wasted. Death is transformed into new beginnings, decay into growth. The fungi and decomposers are the forest's silent keepers, recycling, renewing, and connecting every living thing in a cycle as old as the trees themselves. Without them, the Atlantic forest's dance of life would falter and its emerald tapestry would unravel. As daylight fades and the emerald canopy surrenders to twilight, a transformation stirs within the Atlantic forest. The world of day gives way to an entirely new realm, one ruled by shadows and sound, where the true residents of the night emerge. In the hush that follows the setting sun, the forest awakens with a chorus of nocturnal voices. Frogs begin their symphony, their calls echoing from hidden pools and dripping leaves. High in the branches, the haunting cries of nightjars and potoos drift through the darkness, while the soft flutter of bat wings signals the start of their nightly hunt. Eyes adapted to the faintest glimmers of moonlight pierce the gloom. The margay, a stealthy spotted cat, slips silently along mossy limbs, its wide pupils catching every movement below. Tiny woolly opossums scurry along vines, their prehensile tails curling for balance as they forage for fruit and insects. On the forest floor, armadillos shuffle through the leaf litter, their armored bodies rustling softly. The night air is thick with the scents of blooming flowers, some of which open only after dusk, luring in moths and nectar-feeding bats with their pale, luminous petals. Each creature is a master of the night, equipped with special adaptations, echolocation to navigate the tangled undergrowth, sensitive whiskers to detect the faintest tremor, or fur that muffles their passage. In the darkness, camouflage is king. Many animals wear muted coats or shimmering patterns that dissolve into the shadows. Above all, the Atlantic forest at night is alive with sound. The rhythmic chirr of crickets, the distant howl of a maned wolf, and the sudden splash of a caiman in a moonlit stream weave a tapestry of nocturnal life. Here, in the darkness, every rustle and call is a reminder that the forest never truly sleeps. As dawn approaches, the night's performers slip away, leaving only fading echoes and dew-silvered leaves. But for a few precious hours, the Atlantic forest belongs to the creatures of the night, a hidden world, thriving in the shadows, as vital and wondrous as the day. As the Atlantic forest cycles through the year, subtle yet profound changes sweep through its emerald expanse. Here the seasons do not arrive with the stark contrasts found elsewhere, but with a gentle shifting of light, temperature, and rainfall that orchestrates a complex ballet of adaptation. During the wet season, rain falls in steady curtains, soaking the soil and swelling the rivers. Ferns unfurl, fresh fronds and epiphytes burst into bloom, their colours painting the canopy. Frogs and toads take advantage of the temporary pools, laying eggs in the safety of the waterlogged forest floor. Insects emerge in abundance, providing a feast for hungry birds and bats, while streams become highways for fish and amphibians seeking new territories. As the rains subside and the dry season settles in, the forest shifts its rhythm. Some trees shed their leaves, conserving precious moisture and letting sunlight dapple the understory. Orchids and bromeliads, adapted to survive with less water, store reserves in their fleshy leaves and roots. Fruit becomes scarcer, and mammals such as monkeys and agoutis must roam farther to find their next meal. For many, this is a time of scarcity, but also of ingenuity. Some animals change their feeding times, while others slow their metabolism, waiting for the return of rain. Throughout the year, the Atlantic forest's residents read the subtle cues of temperature and humidity. Birds time their nesting to coincide with the flush of insects after the first rains. Seeds lie dormant in the soil, waiting for just the right moment to burst forth. Even the forest's rivers and streams pulse with the changing seasons, rising and falling in tune with the clouds above. Climate patterns, too, leave their mark. Years of heavy rain bring abundance, while drought can test even the most resilient. Yet, with each changing season, the Atlantic forest endures, its flora and fauna locked in an ancient dance, shaped by cycles of renewal and challenge. In this world without clocks or calendars, time is measured in petals, songs, migrations, and the whisper of leaves in the wind. Here the story of survival is written anew each season, nature's resilience on full display, echoing through the heart of the Atlantic forest. Hidden within the lush shadows of the Atlantic forest are botanical treasures, rare and endangered plant species that have survived millennia, yet now cling to existence by the thinnest of threads. From the delicate orchid blossoms that adorn mossy trunks to ancient cycads whose lineage stretches back to the age of dinosaurs, these plants are living testaments to the forest's evolutionary wonders. Each rare species plays a vital role in the intricate web of life. Some, like the critically endangered Araucaria pine, serve as living skyscrapers, offering shelter and food to a host of animals. Others, such as the elusive slipper orchids, rely on precise partnerships with fungi in the soil, an invisible alliance that ensures their seeds can sprout in the dim light beneath the canopy. Natural forces shape their fate. Fierce storms can topple giants, opening sunlit gaps where new life struggles to take hold. Shifting river courses may wash away soil, threatening plants rooted too close to the banks. Prolonged droughts test the limits of even the hardiest survivors, forcing them to draw deep on ancient reserves of water and energy. Insects and birds, too, play their part, pollinating blooms or dispersing seeds to far corners of the forest, sometimes by chance, sometimes in a delicate dance of mutual benefit. Yet for all their resilience, these rare plants walk a razor's edge. A single failed season, an unexpected flood, or the absence of a crucial pollinator can tip the balance against them. Still, their presence is a silent promise of diversity, of beauty, and of hope for the future. The rare and endangered plants of the Atlantic forest are not just survivors. They are guardians of genetic riches, holding secrets that may one day unlock cures, inspire innovations, or simply remind us of nature's extraordinary power to endure. In their struggle and splendor, these plants embody the spirit of the Atlantic forest, a realm where rarity is not just a measure of scarcity, but a celebration of life's infinite possibilities. Beneath the emerald canopy of the Atlantic forest, life weaves together in intricate patterns, an unseen tapestry of relationships that bind the forest's countless species. Here, survival is rarely a solitary endeavor. Instead, it is the art of cooperation, coexistence, and sometimes quiet rivalry. In the dappled light, hummingbirds hover beside trumpet-shaped flowers, sipping nectar and in return dusting pollen from bloom to bloom. This is mutualism, each partner thriving because of the other. Far below, army ants march in purposeful columns, their movements stirring up insects. Opportunistic birds follow, snatching up the startled prey. The ants are undisturbed by their feathered shadows. The birds benefit. The ants remain unaffected, a classic case of commensalism. Yet not all partnerships are harmonious. Parasitic mistletoe sinks its roots into the branches of ancient trees, drawing water and nutrients from its unwilling host. Even so, the mistletoe's berries become a feast for fruit-eating birds who spread its seeds across the forest, intertwining the fates of parasite and benefactor in a complex dance. On the forest floor, leafcutter ants cultivate fungus gardens underground, feeding the fungus with carefully gathered leaves. The ants cannot digest the leaves themselves. The fungus cannot survive without the ants' care. Together they flourish, an alliance as old as the forest itself. Lichens, silent mosaics of algae and fungi, cling to rocks and bark, each providing what the other cannot. Orchids, too, depend on invisible fungal partners beneath the soil, their seeds germinating only in the presence of these hidden allies. Everywhere these relationships shape the destiny of the forest. Some are fleeting, others lifelong. Some bring benefit, others cost, but together they form the living web that sustains the Atlantic forest, a world where every life is connected and every bond, no matter how small, plays its part in the grand story of survival. Beneath the towering giants of the Atlantic forest, an entire world thrives in the shadows. The forest floor. Here, a living carpet stretches from root to root, woven from fallen leaves, tangled roots and mossy stones. In this dim, humid underworld, life is measured in inches, not miles. The air is thick with the scent of decomposition. A silent army of fungi and bacteria breaking down yesterday's leaves to feed tomorrow's growth. Pillbugs and earthworms tunnel through the rich soil, churning and aerating it, while millipedes and beetles feast on the detritus, recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. Tiny frogs, perfectly camouflaged, leap between puddles and leaf litter, their calls echoing softly in the gloom. Skinks and salamanders slither through the damp, hunting for insects among the roots. Above them, the roots of towering trees form natural passageways and shelters, offering protection for shy mammals like agoutis and armadillos, who search for seeds and fallen fruit. Pockets of light pierce the darkness, nurturing miniature gardens of ferns and seedlings. Here microhabitats abound. Rotting logs become nurseries for beetle larvae, while shallow pools host delicate aquatic life. Even a single stone turned over reveals a bustling metropolis of ants, spiders, and springtails. Every inch of the forest floor teems with activity, each creature playing a role in the endless cycle of decay and renewal. There are no roads, no footprints, only the quiet, relentless work of nature, sustaining the forest from the ground up. In this hidden realm, life is both fragile and fierce, a testament to the resilience and interconnectedness of the Atlantic forest's most humble inhabitants. High above the living carpet and between the sunlit leaves, a symphony of wings brings the Atlantic forest to life. With over 900 bird species calling this realm home, the forest pulses with color and song. Brilliant toucans glide from branch to branch, their oversized bills perfect for plucking fruit and scattering seeds across the canopy. Flashes of iridescent blue and green betray the presence of hummingbirds, darting between orchids and bromeliads, pollinating flowers with every sip of nectar. Some birds are true travelers, like the elegant swallow-tailed kite, soaring thousands of kilometers each year, tracing ancient migratory routes that link distant continents to this forest refuge. Others are faithful residents, such as the endangered red-billed curassow, whose deep calls echo at dawn, staking out territories and attracting mates. Nesting strategies here are as varied as the birds themselves. Tiny ant wrens weave intricate pouches suspended from slender twigs, safe from ground predators. Wood creepers spiral up tree trunks, searching for insects beneath the bark, while secretive tinamous lay camouflaged eggs in hidden ground nests guarded by dense foliage. Each species fills an ecological niche. Fruit eaters help regenerate the forest by dispersing seeds far and wide, while insect hunters keep populations in check. Even the scavengers play their part, cleaning up what others leave behind. From dawn's first chorus to the final calls at dusk, the birds of the Atlantic forest weave a delicate web of life, connecting every layer of this ecosystem. Their songs, flights, and silent labors ensure that the forest remains vibrant, resilient, and ever-changing, an avian masterpiece painted across the emerald tapestry of the Atlantic forest. In the heart of the Atlantic forest, a rich and layered symphony unfolds, not of human voices but of nature's own language. As sunlight filters through the canopy, the forest awakens with a chorus that is both ancient and ever new. The rhythmic drumming of woodpeckers echoes through the trunks, signaling territory and attracting mates. Frogs call from hidden pools, their voices blending into a watery lullaby that marks the onset of dusk. Throughout the understory, cicadas pulse in waves, each species timing its calls to avoid being drowned out by its neighbors. This careful orchestration creates an acoustic tapestry, where every sound has its place and purpose. Monkeys whoop and bark to locate family members, while agoutis rustle softly in the leaves, warning of lurking predators with subtle alarm calls. High above, the haunting cries of tunamus weave through the trees, a secret language carried on the wind. Even the silence between calls speaks volumes. Predators stalk quietly, and prey listen intently, reading the forest's mood in the hush. Communication here is not just about survival. It is about connection, between mates, between rivals, between generations. The forest's voice is shaped by every living creature, the snap of a twig, the buzz of a beetle, the splash of a fish. Together, they create a living soundscape, a web of messages that has evolved over millennia. In this hidden world, the Atlantic forest is never truly silent. It speaks in 1,000 tongues, each note a vital thread in the tapestry of life. To listen is to understand. This is a kingdom alive with conversation, woven in sound and echoing with the pulse of wildness.